sauces. They smoking that leaf from Toronto. They watching that waist like a car show. You look like you wanna get shit off your chest. I thought so. I'm back in this game, now you sit at the end of the bench. I thought so. Yeah, back in this motherfucker like I left something in this bitch. A whole gallon of the white. I'm getting drunker than a bitch. Big straps with the Mac 11s got me putting extendos in the clip. And lay your shit up on the curb like you didn't pay your rent. Got Papa John dope, but no pizza. The dope with his flipping straight O's and the zippers. Right off the Peter Pan, intake at 9 if you open the smell stick with you. My BBE label with guys on the table. Fuck your squad of your Dracos. This map make you jump, no Chris Carson is stable. You can scout like potatoes. Shorty saying that I am the one. Who the fuck you think she Billie Jean? She want a nigga, put her on the team. I been spitting out my kiss a Listerine. The flow is bucking like it's Greek to free. But I keep it 44 like Pistol P. I really shitting on your biggest dreams. About to flow with you niggas, Mr. Clean. I'm cooking up dog food. She play with the dick with the tossers. They smoking that leaf from Toronto. They watching that waist like a car show. You look like you wanna get shit off your chest. I thought so. I'm back in this game, now you see that thing.
Man. They back at it again, y'all. Don't fall victim.
I need some wild so I can splash in the lake, and I need a rat so I can eat. I'm a snake. My bitch from Louisiana and she Creole with sticking head. Hopping out like she clear. We ain't missing.
They trying by any means now, y'all. Stay the course.
That's because you be playing the middle. I got an issue with the streets, it's breeding snitches. That's why I'm a family guy like Peter Griffin. Heard about Western Road, think I need a Smith. And issue time with his close, I think he a blister. Matters with the clips, I'm pushing T in my set. The smoke, and you'll catch a T at your neck. Alphabet sticks, let the T in the map. Bitch, I'm hotter than few, that's gonna leak out the jet. I'm cooking up dog food. She play with the dick with the tonsils. I'm smoking that leaf from Toronto. They watching that waist like a car show. You look like you wanna get shit off your chest. I thought so. I'm back in this game, now you sit at the end of the bench. I thought so.
Yeah. Watch how the beat come down at the end. Yeah. You like that? I thought so. Yeah, that's one of a lot of people's favorites. Catch this track out and more. Spotify, all streaming platforms, G Liddy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for this flash show, this flash live. Hope everybody's had a beautiful week, start to their week. Y'all know we are bracing ourselves. It's a new day, new week, new era, new policies. I've been paying close attention to the executive orders Trump has signed. I think like 78 or 178. But there's a few that I believe was pretty much I'll be honest with you, common sense. Like common sense. One of the ones that stuck out to me is the putting the freeze on government workers, hiring freeze unless it's military or important positions. None of all these 100 million one contractors. Number two, executive order where all government workers must report back to the office. That was a big one because, the IRS had a lot of people working from home. So it's hard to get, processing times were so slow because they didn't have the manpower. They put a freeze on issuing any treasury determinations, regulations, or rules. So they can't just issue a new rule next week or last. That's done until the government knows its objective, until the Trump and them know why they're doing it. Oh, it's a lot of things that have changed already. Those executive orders that is pretty much centered around for the benefit of us. Now I'm going to be paying close attention to this government efficiency office and the X's and O's. Exactly what are they doing? Because I really don't have my opinion on it yet because I don't really have too much data on exactly how they're going to operate. So I'll pay close attention to that. So February 2nd and 3rd, we're still slated for the right to set off class. And I am going to be on the second day, I am going to be sharing a treat with you all. Uh, I've been working on this for about a few months, studying and researching. So I feel confident to bring it to your attention. It's going to first be unveiled at the Right to Set Off class. It is going to be a bombshell presentation. Um, it actually is going to line everything up as well, and it has to do with a IRS office because the IRS has their accounting systems. Like one system is what you see on your transcript, another system is you see with the MCC transcript, but then they have an internal accounting and control system inside the integrative data retrieval system. Now, the IDRS is where a lot of your tax forms are processed. Uh, tax returns, 1099s, they're all processed on that system. But if you remember several classes ago, remember when I showed you during the proceedings and debates where how if the corporation was the obligor to the individual, how would the individual get his refund? Remember, they'll pull the credit from the corporation and then refund the individual. I have uncovered the unit, the department, and the internal accounting and control system where 1099s are processed, credits are processed, equities are processed, securities are processed, bonds are processed. All these things that a lot of people have been talking about over the years and sending it here, sending it here. Remember those 1,001 steps that they used to always tell you to do? I have narrowed it down and I've actually put a name to the legend everybody's talking about. I'm going to come out and say it now. I found it. And that is what happens when you are part of the Supreme Elite team. We find shit. I actually found where all the internal accounting with the IRS system, now all this is internal, like it's not even public. It's how they do their internal accounting and the 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 actions that are done on that internal accounting is what we see on our end. We see the disposition of those actions. So every major security, financial asset, revenue receipt for the government flows through there. Equity claims, at law and equity claims. It flows through that unit. That is the centerpiece of all set offs at the IRS, all tax credits or tax assessments. It's all balanced there. And I will unveil it at the February 2nd and third right to set off class. I'm actually putting together a trailer now for the right to set off class, and that will be coming soon. The next Cap Files edition, we're going to travel back to 2022 and we are going to break down the very first W sandwich video. Someone sent me the video in 2022, okay? And I just realized today that that video I never watched it. The video I had was the very first original teaching of the W4 sandwich by, I think, a white lady named Sarah out of Ohio. So everybody else that's been, I guess they were part of that class or were teaching about the W2. They taught it from that video because this lady was the first lady to introduce the W4 sandwich. Now, hey, what's going on, brother? Oh, OG, did you like the 2-day private class I had for you and the team this weekend? Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you liked it. Because that's why I pushed my right to set off class back, because I told you I had some professionals that I had to give a little private setting teaching to. So, OG, did you like the class? Just let me know. Now, and we still have Sunday, OG. We wrapping up Sunday. All right. Wrapping up Sunday. So when we in yeah, OG, yeah, this what I was telling you about the unit, OG. It's that particular unit. Now everybody knows this unit, but they don't know the unit. They know it by a different name. They know it by the secret treasury trust fund account. They know it by the birth certificate account. They know it by the names like an estate. They know it as that wherever you need to set off all your bills and pay all your debts from and yada yada. They know it as that. And I was hitting two people these past few months when I kept saying, it doesn't exist the way you think it exists. Remember, I said, no, that's not how it goes. You notice I kept saying that. I kept saying that. I kept saying that. Kept saying that for a reason. No, it doesn't exist the way you think it exists. No, it doesn't work like that. No, it's not going to go like that. And you know what's so crazy about this unit? The whole operations is not blind to the public. It's not hidden from the public. And the unit does exist. I called the IRS, confirmed it today. That unit is where everything goes down at. So we are going to deep dive into that. We're going to take a little dive in that at the right to set off webinar. As far as making it part of the daily or weekly studies in this group, I on YouTube publicly, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I don't think I will be doing that. I think it's just going to open up too big of a can of worms. And then, like I said, y'all, there's a lot of people in this space that just will refuse to pivot and do things the right way. So things are going to get flooded right way, wrong way. And then we're all going to be back in the same position where we're in now, where they have to separate the wheat from the shaft instead of just giving people the benefit of the doubt that they're doing things the correct way. The IRS tried it that way and they lost millions of dollars. especially with the OID system. They never had a system to validate your OID back then. So if you filed an OID, it was taken on its face that it was correct. That's why they were issuing the refunds as rapidly as they were. But when they come to find out, people have taken advantage of that and started filling out these forms blindly and not being informed on how the forms actually work or how the forms are supposed to be documented. Then they had to switch up the measures, so every OID that comes through the door now is going to be scrutinized. If you stand up to the scrutiny test, you should have no problems with your documents being processed. If it doesn't, then you should pretty much know what to expect after that. So the main thing is always make sure you're following the regulations. Always make sure you can substantiate your claim. Do not put any claim just solely in equity. Don't put a claim solely based on what you believe. Don't put a claim solely on these 1933 statutes and public laws, because as it goes to show that some of these public laws and stuff that we've been relying on in the past, and which people still rely on to this day, are not even operable anymore. So the main thing is not to put ourselves at a deficit out the gate. The main thing is not to get a fast no. I will take a slow yes over a fast no any day. So if you join the right to set off class, you will be putting yourself in a position where a fast no is not even an option. They will actually have to sit down and entertain your claims. Give it a second look instead of reading over it once and then making their determination. They're going to have to do their research. The lawyers, they're going to have to huddle up. I will also be informing everyone, giving you a rundown, a presentation on how this financial system works. Contrary to popular belief, I don't think there's when we take these courses of actions and we do these things, I don't think as a whole we actually ever truly understand how the financial system works today. We cannot base the financial system off of what happened in 1933. There's been dozens and dozens of post 1933 measures, regulations, public laws that have affected the pre 1933 laws. One of the biggest public laws that have been phased out of the system is Public Law 7310. The government has phased that out of the system. It's more like it's phased out as a matter of a rule of law. Um, Reason being is no financing contract, no loan agreement is ever going to ask you to pay in gold or silver. So you don't have to worry about that aspect of HAR 192 coming into play with your contract. Yes, gold and silver, nothing but gold and silver be made as lawful currency or lawful money of the United States. However, the government has switched to a fiat currency system, just like many governments across the world, meaning you don't need gold or silver or a tangible physical asset that's backing the debt. Mainly, it's credit that's backing the debt. What does the credit represent? The credit that is backing the debt. Well, I'm going to tell you what it don't represent first. The credit that is backing the debt, or the full faith and credit of the United States. It is not our birth certificate. It is not our social security account. It is not anything that you probably heard or what they told you. It's none of that. None of that plays a part in the full faith and credit of the United States. Do you know what the credit that is backing the debt, that is backing their debt, that is backing these financial instruments that travel through the world? The credit is the cash flow claim against us. It boils down to the accounting. It is the cash flow claim. Prime example, you get a loan, you got to pay it back periodically. The bank has a cash flow claim against you. Now, since they know they're going to have money coming in from you and other people every month, they can now, or through their subsidiary entity, their special purpose vehicle, they can now issue their own security because the payment of their security is going to be made good when people make their monthly periodic payments. Now, take that and transpose that on the government treasury system and treasury securities. It is the same way. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. Securities instruments are falling flat on their face or falling on deaf ears because these securities, well, a lot of people think they're issuing negotiable instruments. And negotiable instruments are only good for conversion or deposit. They're only good, mainly conversion. Okay. But it's matter of law, public knowledge, that any negotiable instrument that you receive or get, like a check, money order, draft, is going to be converted into credit into an account or converted into Federal Reserve notes. And when it gets converted into credit into the account, when that credit is redeemed, it's ultimately going to be redeemed in Federal Reserve notes. So no matter if you got a check, draft, note, money order, it's ultimately going to be converted into Federal Reserve notes. And it is well settled law since March 9th, 1933, that Federal Reserve notes cannot be issued against another negotiable instrument. That is one of the main reasons why our negotiable instruments fail. When I say "our," I'm speaking to us entirely, so don't make it seem like big I's and little U's. But the reason why negotiable instruments fail because we really don't understand the financial system and how the government accounting system and the instrumentalities accounting system actually works. Okay, so a negotiable instrument, there already has to be Federal Reserve somewhere that which you have a claim to, somewhere that which you can write a negotiable instrument on. Just like when people were sending bonds to the Treasury, they were sending bonds to these 30-year bonds. They're adding their interest to it, and then they were putting their Social Security account number on there as collateral for the bond. The problem with that is the actual payment or the security for the payment, you just put a social security number. That social security number, you gotta look at how they're looking at it. They can't take a social security number and use it as credit. I mean, as a collateral. There's nothing there. There is not a system in the governmental financial instrumentality system where the social security number itself can be ledgered into the accounting system to provide collateral security. That's not how the system works. We may believe or want the system to work that way, but ultimately, y'all, the system does not work that way. There has to be a underlying right to payment, whether it's an intangible right, whether it's a tangible, some type of asset that is backing the identifiable, not in theory, not just, oh, my social security number and everything and everything. No, it doesn't work like that. So in the right to set off class, that is I'm going to level set you and give you the X's and O's of this financial system first. And then we move to the accounting where you can legally and lawfully put together a lawful legal right to set off claim, which is the banking, finance companies, banks, any other instrumentality, any other financial institution that meets their standards. Okay. And then the right to enforcement, we're going to go over that as well. So everything I do is coming from the more legal side. So if you're probably one of those people that don't believe that the federal regulations apply to you, or the United States laws don't apply to you because you're not a U.S. person, you're a sovereign or you're an individual, I don't think you're really going to grasp the class, because I don't teach like that. With all due respect, I just don't teach like that. The reason why I don't teach like that, because there are plenty of people on social media that teach that way. And when you just look at the odds and the numbers of success based on those teachings, I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't bank on it. And if you've tried everything else, yes, you can ask me. Okay, yes. Somebody said, brother, greetings, brother. Yeah, on point, my brother. I saw you and David in chat in our last class. Oh, yes, sir. Sir. Need to ask you a question of later. Yep, just send it in the group. OG, just send it in the group that I set up. You can ask me that later. You got my signature. And that's what he said. You got my sister talking about you damn near every day. You woke up a monster. And that is what I intend to do. Wake up that eye so you see what I'm saying. Not just see with your eyes, but metaphorically speaking, like you see it, you feel it, you grasp the system now, like you understand it now. And that is the biggest thing, is the understanding. Because once you understand what's going on, there are limitless possibilities. There are multiple ways you can go about it. Going about certain processes are only limited when we lack the understanding. And it's not just to down the teachers all the time, because I don't know if they really know or not. Like, I have no clue. I just go by what I see. And the disingenuous part, when I started to think it was a scam and them being disingenuous, when I'm saying, hey, look, get up with me. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Nah, that's that's not the right way to go. That's not the right way to go. Mhm. That's not the right way to go, you know? And then meet me, when they'll still meet me with resistance, I'm like, what the hell? I thought you trying to help the people. Y'all gonna drag them into a ditch. So I'm like, why get mad at me? Like, I'm just trying to help. Like, I didn't know none of this in the beginning, y'all. I did not know any of this in the beginning. I swear, I didn't know how it really went. I was green as grass on the hilltop. So, um, so that's how it goes. 1 second, y'all. I'm getting my daughter to back my truck up. Watch this. I'm trying to help her. Turn the truck. Put your foot on the gas. There you go. Hey. Oh my gosh, y'all. All right.
Huh? Hold on. Yeah, you gotta help me. I did new controls. I don't know how to do it. Like, where? This is crazy. You don't know what a button's at. Yeah, I don't know the button. I don't know the button. Jesus. You know.
Space longer than me. Y'all been in this space longer than me. Y'all done been through, tried every way but Sunday. Y'all been around this space longer than me. So I understand the frustration that comes when you're doing everything right and you still got to kick, fight, scratch, and claw for every little thing you that you're entitled to. We ain't talk about no theory. We talk about evidentiary, black and white. You're entitled to, and like they still don't make it easy just because you know. So a lot of things that really had me mad with this space was the false sense of security and the false sense of hope and confidence it gave in a lot of people. This space gave a false sense of hope and confidence to multitudes of people to the point where it just the art of studying the process. So when we think of a process, we kind of limit the process or we compartmentalize it to a document submitting results. We compartmentalize it to that. Well, the process goes from the studying, the researching, the understanding, the knowledge, the confidence that grows through understanding. Okay. Continue to study, research, shoot your documents out there, see what you have. May not get what you want, may get closer, may get a different response this time, and see the growth within yourself and the different responses that you're getting now to ultimately you get your end result. That is the process. That's the process, not document submission results. That's not the process. And we have lost the excitement of that. Even that, the excitement that grows when your confidence grows, when you feel yourself understanding, when nobody needs to validate it for you, when nobody needs to validate, when you know and nobody can knock you off your rockers. No matter what they throw in your face, there's nothing they can say, there's nothing they can do to get you to change because you have understanding. You see it everywhere you turn, it's confirming. And you're not even looking for confirmation bias. It just the roads lead back there to the point where this is what it is, regardless of every other way you look, every other way you go, it always leads you back there. That's where I came up with the accounting, trust law, tax law, because no matter how you, wherever, whichever way you go, it's always going to lead back to those three, no matter the situation. And you know when you're on the right track, when your foundation applies in multiple situations. So you don't have to learn another new process for this or another new process for that. Your foundation applies all around. That's when you know you have the proper footing. How many times have you seen teachers? They'll talk about this one day, and then you got to learn something else totally to complete this process. Well, the very first thing that they taught, whatever understanding that was, it's supposed to apply to a new topic. Notice how, like, I don't care if you're in the mortgage, I don't care if you're in auto, I don't care if you're credit card, I don't care if you're in consumer finance, I don't care if you're in court. You notice how the foundation never changes, the position never changes. That's when the players may change, but the game never does. The game doesn't change. Same players. Even with the IRS and their internal accounting, it's the same game. It's the same game whether you're dealing with a treasury security or a promissory note, a mortgage note. It's the same game. Whether you're dealing with the Bureau of Fiscal Service or Wells Fargo, it's the same game. Different players, you may have to address different names, different presentment because you're in a different venue, but your underlining point, your position never changes. That's when you know you're on the right track. It can withstand any venue because no matter what you do, no matter what these teachers try to sell you, no matter what happens at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to accounting, trust law, Tax law, no matter what, any situation, it's always going to go back to that. And when I rank it in order, the number one thing that's the most important, the most important thing is accounting. That's the number one because trust law, we talk about the equity side. You can't really substantiate your equity claim if you can't identify your claim on the books. Remember, everything is on the books, book entries. Everything is on the books. You find your equity in the books. Tax law, tax regulations, the federal tax regulations, they're based off what happens on the books. You notice the IRS never gives a damn about the actual deed of trust. You notice they never give a damn about. Why doesn't the IRS ever give a damn about the deed of trust? You ever know that they don't ever give a damn about the deed of trust? Want to know why? Because they know how the deed of trust is accounted for on the books. The deed of trust is accounted for as a gift on the books. Why do they only care about that one security? That's the note. Why do you think they don't care about? They don't care about nothing else. Even the regulations regarding securities and stuff, it's only regarding that one security. And I'm going to show you in the right to set off class. Now, you can listen to me talking all day. I'm going to show you black and white. You'll see it for yourself that the actual collateral security that you are pledging at the time of your loan is that note. The mortgage, it's the note. It's not the deed of trust. Want to know why? This is why accounting is number one. Because the accountant, you see black and white what's really going on, regardless of what's on that document, regardless of what's on the loan documents. Listen, y'all, I know they word the loan documents, they make it seem like you got a loan, they do a good job. But what is going down in your loan documents is not what's being accounted for. Why do you think when they file 1099As for foreclosures and abandonments of securities, why do you think they always check the box that you're personally liable for? Because they know you don't know. They know you don't know. Because the same way, if you were personally liable for the debt, why are they adding a corresponding liability to the loan that they supposedly gave you? Another thing, at the closing of the loan, why do they not file the 1099 at closing? Because they know they're not going to get in trouble. If they don't, nobody's going to bring it to the IRS's attention. Want to know why? Because they may tell us it's a loan transaction, but when I look at the books, it's a totally different loan transaction. And yes, they're borrowing something from you in that transaction. You best believe. They're borrowing something from you on the books, black and white. Want to know how you know the definition when I in the right to set off? You want to know the definition? Want to know why? Because all I'm going to ask you to do, whoever attends, all I'm going to ask you to do is let's run down what actually happened in your transaction. What actually happened, not what's represented on the documents. Let's run down what actually happened, the actions, and I guarantee you, the actions are going to line up with the definition. This is why the IRS knows this. This is why their main thing is on the substance of the transaction, not necessarily what's presented in them documents. Because if the IRS really just went off what's presented in the documents and not the substance, they know they'll be losing out and the financial institutions will be getting away with a lot of non-payment of taxes or reporting. Yes. Was your loan set off at the beginning? Yes. I know you hear a lot of teachers say it. That is true. But why? That's a different story. Why? How? How is the loan set off at the beginning? How? How is it really that I'm not liable for this loan at closing when I close? How and why? That is what we're going to answer in the right to set off class. How and why? Because I'm going to tell you this, if you can't prove it on the books, you don't have a claim. And reason why that is so is because no matter what actions that they took that we don't agree with, we later on find out we actually still signed the contract. So it kind of is like an indemnity clause. Well, yeah, but you still sign. I've heard banks tell me that all the time. Yeah, but she still signed it. They had the option to go over it with them, right? Yeah, but they signed it. They didn't just say when I called on their behalf, they didn't say I was wrong, but they said, well, yeah, but she signed it though. They signed it. That's why we have to take a more methodical approach to it, because let's be honest, you signed the contract, you got to pay the debt. That's what it is. But we're not talking about the repayment of the debt, because one of the biggest mistakes that everybody in this space makes, they think that it's all the same transaction, that the loan transaction was all one transaction, when really two transactions took place at the same time. And we have to split the first transaction from the second transaction. The second transaction is your repayment of the loan. But it's the first transaction that they don't ever want to talk about or report. I wonder why. God, I can't wait for this right to set off class. It is going to be one of the, oh man. You can take for what you work. You can take for what it's worth. They got it. Brother Ammo's got a head start. They got a head start in the class. He could tell you. Because I had them over the weekend. We finishing up this Sunday. They'll tell you. They're already in it. I mean, it wasn't available to everybody. It was just private I did for them first. Yeah. I tell you. I ain't speaking about, oh, what's going to be or you should. I'm speaking about, I already had it. I already had it. And it leaves you with this confidence. Not solely because what I'm saying, is the confidence because not only am I giving context to it, giving the proper interpretation to it, but you're finally seeing it for yourself. The questions that they're finally being answered. It's like you finally found the right way in which you can validate what you are only seeing with your own eyes as the proper way. You are finally seeing it for yourself. All these years, the evidence, all these processes people were teaching, it was always shrouded in, because there's no context given. There's no something they could point to black and white that's not the same old public laws, HJR stuff. They never went beyond that. You see it now. And when you see it the way they see it, they ain't put that post there for nothing, because you see it. It's hard to explain the feeling, but you see it now. You're finally on the right track. Finally. You're finally on the right track. And shout out to Fatty with the super duper. Shout out for Team Fatty. Yes, sir. That's the homie Fatty, y'all. If y'all ain't do it already, y'all go subscribe to Team Fatty. It's my partner right there. It's my ace boon coon. Yes, sir. All right, Fatty. I appreciate you, big dog. I'm gonna chop it up with you in the back chat on Discord. Appreciate you, big dog. 100. It's my homeboy right there. That's Fatty. Fatty, good dude, y'all. Y'all go follow Team Fatty. Do it for me, y'all. My members, y'all go do it to me and give it a chance. Just sit in on the class. Y'all see me on the panel too. Y'all see another side too. I'll be on this panel. So I'll be in the show. Y'all see me too. Y'all see me over there. Good. You know I ain't gonna send y'all to no pieces. It's a good alternative to what we talk about do all day. It's very entertaining. It's fun. I like it. I'm a part of the Untouchables. Y'all can go subscribe, become a member. But good channel. Now, be honest with you, good channel. Remind me of me. I ain't really gonna tell you what you want to hear. Gonna give it to you reality what it is. That's the type of dude I am. I forget the feelings. I'm gonna give it to you straight up how it is. So y'all follow Team Fatty. TEAMFATTY YouTube. But yeah, y'all. And the another thing I want to point out to y'all is my research. I don't research from my standpoint how I see it. I don't ever do that. That is so destructive when I'm researching only from the lens that I see it through. Because we're all human beings and uh we can all be caught up with the confirmation bias, only looking for things to confirm what I believe. But what I believe, is it really the right way? That's the question. Is there any regulatory, statutory, accounting, trust law, tax law that I can use that supports my position? And what you'll find in these spaces that it's not a lot. No, you really can't. Because these people don't go off what we believe. They're like robots. What does the regulation say? What does the instructions say? That's pretty much what they go by. So I like this channel so much is because we're not giving you the information from what we believe to have one big echo chamber and a kumbaya moment. We're giving you the information from the industry standards, what the banks file. We study from what they have to file with their world. I give it to you from their world, and then I add context to it by my ability to explain it in layman's terms. And that unit at the IRS I was telling you about, the corporate attorney already confirmed it. So this is how my seven serious securities broker friend works. This is how he works. And I'm just figuring it out now. If I go put a claim out there, he immediately gets on the phone with his corporate buddies. And what I said it was, he'll ask, hey, is it true? Da-da-da-da. Like he'll immediately do it. I don't even know he's doing it. And then he'll come right back like, God damn, a corporate lawyer 30 years said, yeah, you correct. So I'm looking like, oh, but then I noticed he started doing it rapidly. I'm like, oh, he fact checking the shit out of me. Which, listen, y'all, I deal with people that are professional in the business world too. They're not just going to take my word for it. Oh no, and I don't ever tell you to do that. They're going to fact check to make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm always being fact checked daily, even in my Telegram group. I know who's in there. I can't get away with just saying it. Like if I just try to gloss over a part, they'll be like, oh, explain that again. And that's what I want everybody. I'm not telling you just come to me. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you're part of another group or something, you need to be fact checking them. You need to be asking these tough questions because any person that's teaching and knows what they're talking about, number one, they should not be offended if you're asking an honest, genuine question because you're trying to understand. You should not be shamed, gaslighted, be guilt tripped and not asking. And number two, they should not think you're trolling just because you're asking the questions. And number three, they should be able to answer it. But what you tend to see is when I ask them, Mr. Private 007, because the whole premise is he set off a house with a $1 postal money order. Now, I've been around the block several times. I'm hip to a lot of these processes. There's no way, well, we're in a fiat currency based system, meaning if I take that $1 money order and I cash that $1 money order in, I'm going to get 100 pennies, 4 quarters, $1, 2 quarters, 4 dimes, 2 nickels. So you mean to tell me that in everyday life, if any of you had a $1 money order, if any of you had a $1 money order, and you go and cash that $1 money order in, you're gonna get $1. But if you go to him, take his class, that same $1 money order is going to set off a house in a fiat currency. That's what they want you to believe. That all rules that apply, the normal rules, don't apply with them because it's them that's teaching the class. So the premise is that $1 money order is backed by gold. That's the premise. So when I ask the question, how can a postal money order, how can a commodity back the negotiable instrument when negotiable instruments are backed by securities? And yeah, seen the video, I posted the act where it says it. So I was asking a question like, because I was thinking like, hold on, something ain't right here. How is that true? And what did they do? What y'all see what he did? Oh, we not talking about money. We ain't talking about that. Oh, so you just trying to come here? You probably was a part of a group and want to let everybody know. You see what they do? It's a moving the goalpost. It's a gas. It's all a ruse to get your attention away from the question that I asked and his inability to answer the question. Oh, well, the uniform post, universal post, what did he say? Oh, well, the uniform post, the universe, you all stumbling over his words. Postal unit, they have their own setup. That has nothing to do with the reason why you're teaching the class. You're teaching the class to use a money order to get out of a debt because that postal money order is backed by gold. I know what you're having the class for. You're not the first one to ever. You are late, by the way. He was late. People have been trying to do that in court cases, all those homes for since the late 90s. And this is the thing. They think they're teaching something that is so new. Even with me, I'm not teaching anything that's brand new. This stuff been out here forever. These are the banking standards. They've been doing stuff like this. You think they just started doing it this way because that's because I researched on it? They've been doing it. We're just now being informed of what they're doing. So now we can make a more informed decision. So we can change up how we move. But this ain't nothing new. I read a securitization pulling a service agreement from 2002. In 2002, I was 15. They've been doing this before I was born. It's been running like this. But the ego to think that you're the first one to uncover this, that is a foolish way to think, especially when you're trying to teach. But this is what they do, y'all. They'll block you. They won't answer the questions. You're supposed to shut up, pay for it, and believe it. Only in this space where the teacher lashes out at the student if he asks questions. Only in this space. Only in this space. Because if he was teaching a bunch of professionals and people who can critically think, he wouldn't get away with it. Because they'd be like, why aren't you answering the question? Do you even know the answer? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. That's all they're going to, you don't know what you're talking about. He went through a hogwash of reasons why he didn't want to answer the question. He's trying to gauge my intent. He's trying to gauge my intent. He's looking at the intent of my question instead of answering the question. When I go live throughout the years and people ask questions that I don't know, I don't be like, are you just asking me to troll? What group did you come from? Why? Why? Somebody asks me a question live, I answer it. What's the problem? Because it was nothing more than a passed down packet that is presented to people for the sole purpose of raising revenue. Now, getting paid for your work, I have no problem with that. But that's their sole purpose. All the passion and the energy and effort put into it, like I do it, they're not going to go that mile for y'all. And more than likely, that class is going to be nothing more than passed down propaganda where the only thing he's going to show is the old outdated codes and statutes that supports his belief system. It's not going to be no critical breakdown of the system. It's not. It's not, because they never do. All the information they show, it's the same old revisionist patriot movement information. It's all the same. All the same. They don't have the ability to put a class together from scratch like me. They don't have the ability to do it. When I mean from scratch, your only sources that you're looking to is the regulations, the codes, the laws, court case, the accounting, trust law, tax law. That's it. Nope. They need a pre-packaged. They need a breakdown. They need a spreadsheet. Now, for y'all, I get it. That's cool. But they're the teachers. They're supposed to be creating their own spreadsheets. I can freestyle a 3-hour class off the top of my head. I do it every night in Telegram. I can freestyle a 3-hour class and keep everybody engaged the whole time. Thank you, brother. Add you to the yes. Thank you, Fatty. That's a good look. That's a good move. That's a hell of a move. I appreciate you, Fatty. It was good, Dave. It was good, D. And one thing about it, I'm not going to play with your money. I'm not going to play with, because this is a game to them. It's all how much money I can. They don't give a damn about you on the back end. What I speak out my mouth, I care about what I say. I care about the stuff I put on documents. I care. I care because I treat everybody's like I'm doing my own. I care. I care. You may not like the tone. You may not like how I come off. You may not like I'm maybe putting down certain things that you believe. But if that's all that you don't like, I'm okay with that. Because it shows that the information itself is irrefutable. I'm teaching you the right way. I'm okay with that. I mean, everybody got their preference. But the information is never challenged. I don't talk about these teachers like as a person who they are, individuals. Everything derives from I'm judging the information you're putting out. Because some people are in vulnerable situations and they don't really know, so they're going to trust and believe off your word. Now, we may call that foolish or not, but I understand why. Because they're trusting that you know what the hell you doing. You're not going to sell them some shit that's going to send them up a ditch. I get that. And I see time and time again, these YouTube social media teachers betray the trust y'all put in them. Time and time every day. That's not cool. That's not cool. That part's not cool. That's not cool at all. And I don't need y'all to praise me for that. That's just how I am. I've been, that's how I am. That's not cool. Certain shit, I mean, it ain't that much money in the world, but I certain shit I ain't doing. I ain't doing that. Certain shit I ain't doing that. Nah. That ain't cool. You can't expect nothing good to come from that on you on the back end. You knowingly, just like that bill of exchange for $200, that wasn't something that he created himself. That was something he got from somebody else that got that from somebody else. Not knowing if it's effective, not knowing if it really works, not knowing if people got denied from it, and just throwing it out there as an absolute, like, yeah, get this from me. I got something else for you to buy. I got too much integrity for that. I did too much studying and research to stoop that low. But that's what happens when you don't research. When you came out being a teacher without putting your hours in, without putting your days in, without putting your months in, without putting your weeks in, without putting your years in, when you have not put the time in to even be able to even communicate this stuff to people in a teaching like capacity. They're unqualified. Now, I may not have the board or corporate qualification certificate, the plaque, but I guarantee you, I know this shit like they do, how it pertains to us. I know it like they do. And it's not because I say it, it's because the corporate people validate it. Not that I need their validation, but let's be honest. When you got the corporate saying you're right, it means something. Coming from us. Because I'm no different from y'all. We in the same motherfucker boat compared to them. We're all in the same boat. Compared to them, we're in the same boat. And my job is, if I can just reach one person that gets it, eventually applies it, successful, now they have changed the course of their people. They're teaching this to their kids, teach to their husbands, their wives, their family members. That's how it changes, one family at a time. That's how we end the generational curses. Because there's only so far the system is going to change in our favor. Remember, they still eat off it too. But now they're open up, they're giving us a bigger piece of the pie, or giving us more information, or being more transparent with us so we can get just a big piece of the pie. I don't need 100 million. You don't need 100 million. You may want it. I ain't gonna turn it down for fell in my lap, but we don't need it to be successful, to live a good life, to raise our family. We don't need it. The stuff that I'm talking about, which you can claim, which is actually verifiable, it's more than enough that you need given the circumstances. Given the circumstances, it is efficient, it is adequate. Because I come from the position. Let's say you get your proceeds, but you don't want to put the whole thing on the house. You rather pay the mortgage off for a year. That is that is a good deal. You have a whole year where you might pay 27, 30,000 going to mortgage. Now that's 27 to 30,000 that can go elsewhere. And then guess what? That same 27,000 that you paid on the mortgage, guess what? You can file on that at the end of the year. And then you're taking the chance of your home ever being foreclosed and replacing it with a paper security with numbers on it. I think practical because I'm not a greedy person. I'm not greedy. Even if I uncover, oh shit, it's black and white, you're owed 100 million. I would never put in a claim for 100 million. I wouldn't do that now. I wouldn't put in a claim for 100 million. Nah, 200,000, 300,000 for that. I'm cool with that. And I think time and time, as time goes, more people, they may not admit it, they may not come out and say it, but they are watching my channel and they're benefiting my channel. And I saved a lot of people from getting taken to the bank once again. I know I have. Some of these people that were prevalent in 2021, 2022, hundreds or thousands of followers, they're starving right now. People not buying it. And if you watch my channel and those people that have been taken to the bank, they know what I'm saying is true because they went through it. I don't know the people personally that got taken to the bank for their money. I didn't know them, but I know the feeling, giving your last to something, hoping, and then turn out that it was nothing. It's that sick feeling, like. So my main thing is to make sure that you have a proper footing under you. You are informed. Most people don't realize that you may think that your way to approaching this is limited, but with me, I expand horizons. And the only way you're going to know there's multiple ways to approach it is you have to know more. You have to understand more. God gives knowledge to the wisdom. God gives, hold on. God gives knowledge to the wisdom and forgot it when it's something about give knowledge, give wisdom to the, I'll find it, but gives knowledge to the understanding. Got the first part. I fumbled that one. I'm sorry, y'all. Dun, 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 dun. It's all about understanding, y'all. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. I did not go to school for this. I don't have a degree in this. It's all about understanding. And even if you don't understand all the technical terms, let's say we go over a technical term and I'm saying this is your mortgage right here. And you don't understand the words, you can't, you're trying to grasp the definitions hard. It's your first time ever reading it. All I'm going to say do is, okay, and I stop sentence from sentence and walk you through it. Because the legal definitions I'm gonna read out, I'm gonna stop and say, okay, so what happened at this stage in your transaction? Did this happen? Oh yeah, it did. That, you see what I'm saying? See what? Everybody understands it after that. Everybody. Because I use what really happened as your guide through the legal definition. So now you know what happened. Now you're putting the legal terms to it. But it's not hard to grasp because it actually happened. The most serious defense is those that go to the very heart of the transaction's validity. That's a fact. It's the yes. And you know what it's called with the IRS, y'all? It's the they say they even say the regulations. It may not cover every single thing, but it's all going to fall on the facts and circumstances of each transaction, the substance. Because the on the forefront of on the face of the transaction, we're the borrowers. Okay, I give them that. But the substance of the transactions, we're the lender. We're the lender. We're the lender. And we are in an investment contract. Investment contract. This is why I add court cases. So when I used to do just legal work, that helped me understand this because, of course, I researched the SEC database, the ASC, FFIC, federal regulations, statutory law, federal all of that. But I also add court cases in it because the court case, it gives you a legal interpretation. Remember when I was talking about the Brescifer case and I was using that's a very old case. A lot of people use, but the way I was using it, points and pieces to support my position. Notice how when we ran over, I think it was in Telegram, we went over the Moore versus United States case. I tell all y'all need to read that Moore versus United States case, June 2024. The Supreme Court relied on the same controlling case that I relied on. Well, we relied on the same one. They have Brushaber all through there, the Supreme Court. And what I've been saying all summer, Brushaber. Yeah, I'm telling you. I know the post-process traumatic stress disorder may set in because you've been with a lot of teachers that say this and say, but I'm telling y'all, I do my research. I don't just bring anything to you without knowing what the hell I'm talking about. You're not about to have me up here looking crazy. I do my research. I do investigative research. I'm going to find it. One thing about it, if it's a legal, viable claim for us, and it's really legal, I'm going to find it. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to find it. I'm going to eventually, just like that unit at the IRS, I'm going to find it. 'Cause I know it's there. Couldn't put my finger on it. I knew it was there. I just kept digging. It comes, it becomes an obsession. I am obsessed with knowing everything that pertains to my commercial life, my commercial transactions from the inside and the deep buried internal way. I'm obsessed with it. I want to know it. From there, I'll pick how I present, but I want to know. I want to know. Because one thing I do realize, when they know you know your shit, all those little petty games that they play, they don't even play them like that. No, when they know you know, they're not going to, they don't play those petty games. They know you know. Nope. And this is how powerful the accounting is. With this case right here, let me show you. With this case right here, all I asked, right? All I asked was for them to produce the accounting evidencing that they took out a loan. Well, that she took out a loan with them, and that they funded the loan out of their back pocket to her, consideration that would support a simple contract. I said, ma'am, it should be easy for you to give me that accounting. You can redact all the account numbers and names. But I said, ma'am, if you loan her the money like you're telling me on this phone, you should be able to show the accounting that said shows that Navy Federal's money went from Navy Federal's own account and the money went to her for to close. A simple consideration to support a contract. I said, ma'am, that should be easy to find. You loaned her the money, ma'am. And if you can produce that, I will tell her tomorrow. If you send it to my email today or tomorrow, you will have your payment tomorrow because I will instruct her to pay tomorrow. All of it. I said that on the phone. That was September. The email never came. Letter never came. This was the next correspondence from them. That was the next one. That was it. It goes to show when they know you know the accounting because that's how your claim is proven on the accounting. It's proven on the books. It's that's how it's proven. Bam. Whatever your claims of equity is, you have the accounting to support it. There's nothing they can say. Nothing. You're actually reporting this as a liability to my client. What can you say? There's nothing. They don't want to open those books. That's a fact. And it goes to show that I've noticed a trend. They're more willing to work and hear the case of the borrower if there's a third party interfacing and not they just dealing directly with the borrower. Because I was a power attorney over that mortgage account. So they would call me, but they never called her and explain anything to her what we talked about. They just only dealt with me. I've noticed that when you come in as the borrower, it's like they'll play funny games. But when you got a third party interfacer fiduciary, it's like it's like a different vibe. I don't know how to say it's like a different vibe. They're engaged, they'll go back, they'll try to figure it out. But when it's just the borrower putting these claims in, it's like they don't see you as nothing more than the borrower. This is why um, having a proxy and assigning the proxy your interest in the account or the interest, equal to interest. Now the proxy is the one that's entitled to enforce the instrument. They have a standing to enforce. The problem is a lot of you borrowers are trying to enforce an instrument that you are on the books as the one that's liable. It's hard to get it done that way. So it's not just about what you're presenting, who's presenting it, how it's being presented, the vehicle in which you present it. That's important more than what you're presenting. It's hard for a creditor to hear all these claims coming directly from the borrower. But it's a different vibe when you got a third party coming in, stepping in, especially if the third party has acquired through contract legal interests and rights in the proceed. See, they have to engage it because you have standing now. So what you do is your proxy is supposed to broker a deal where, all right, you really owe me this. Yeah, these proceeds, right? Yeah, I'm coming to get that. But you don't have to pay me. You just keep it and wipe that account cleared. We'll be good with that. That's the object. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. When I wrote Midland about a credit card account that I did not open, I kept telling these idiots 5,000 times, somebody opened up in my name, it's not me. Well, they got Social Security. So when the accrual county collection agency sent the letter talking about the liability, which you really, yeah, now you owe me now. You talking about you owe him. He assigned his rights over to us. You owe us now. Or you can just settle, take what you owe me and apply it back to the account. You could do it like that. And oh, did I delete it? Oh, I deleted it. Ain't that a don't tell me I deleted it. I deleted it. But yeah, it was the letter from Midland saying you, as per our records, you have no more liability to the account. I showed it on here in live stream. I'm telling you, you have to strategize your presentment as well, and that's what I teach people, even in my Telegram group. Even in the right to set all that, so I'm gonna show you how to present it in a proper and every presentment. I measure what I say and what I do by the legal standards. What are the lawyer standards? What are the corporate lawyer? What are the legal standards? Because be honest with you, you're in the public. These are public. You get a financing, you're in the public. I don't know why people want to come with these private remedies for public venues. You're in the public. Regardless if you, there's nothing wrong with being in the public. I don't know why they got people scared. It's nothing wrong with using the federal regulations. It's nothing wrong with using the lawyers. They use it all the time. And this big old scam about, oh, they work for the bar. They're British attorney. No, they're here to sell you out. I can't tell. My federal lawyer, she did a hell of a job. I could have gave her a kiss. How good she did. And when I ran into her in 2022, I screamed at her. I was loud as hell. Said she was the best lawyer in the world. She was a little shy, embarrassed. But nah, she didn't sell me out. She didn't have her duty to the court. And I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. She was rumbling. It was a thriller when she got the gorilla in Manila. She was rumbling the jungle. I don't know about, well, they got a bar card, so they not got your best. And that lady had my best interest at heart. She took that case personal. Brought my suit for court. Regardless if she probably sent a little bill to the court on the back end and got paid back. But regardless, I don't see that every time. I seen the lawyers go to war for their clients. I don't see all that shit. They talk about that fear mongering, fight the system, be scared of the system. No, the system works. Hey, sometimes you may get the ass end of the stick. That's life. But the system works. The remedies there. Remedies are recognized. They work. For the court cases I read, and that's court cases when you don't follow the rules to the system, you lose. I've never read a court case where the judge denied a bar or anyone they claims when they presented it the right way, they had the right type, they had everything. That I've never seen them get denied because of some BS. I see the lawyers for the banks trying to have the judge be like, well, this is how it goes, judge. Or be on that BS. The judge be like, nah, hell nah. You violation. You violate your own agreements. Nah, we're not about to grant you the right. Nah. You do not have standing to foreclose. This is over with. I got numerous of court cases, y'all. I got numerous in my files, my database. Yo, the intrinsic value of the files that I have in my database, I swear it's 100,000, if not more. If one would catch it, apply it, do it. the intrinsic value of what I had. I have multiple court cases of banks losing. I ain't talking about that 1967 case. Not just, I'm talking about 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, all up. So I study all those court cases. I look at the procedures that the judges lay out in those cases because they always let you know what the procedures are. They already let you know what the requirements are. I let you know the threshold that you have to meet. They let you know, even when they deny you, they let you know what you should have did. And I always pay attention to the ones that they deny. Why? Because when they deny a person their claim on a court case, civil case, they always tell you what you're supposed to do. See that? They tell you what you're supposed to do. So I look at multiple cases, and the courts are pretty much consistent. The procedures are pretty much consistent. And what I do is I take all the stuff that they're saying what they're supposed to do from a courtroom setting, and then I transpose it on an argument. Like, how would my argument here on this document with this financial institution line up with the requirements of the court? And when I line up my argument with the requirements of the court, I'm working with a monster. That's how I put it together. That's my secret. That's how I do it. That's how when I add court cases into my documents, that's how I do it. Because those lawyers, when you start adding court cases to your stuff, they're going to research those court cases. They're going to read the court cases that's there. Oh, they're going to read it. Oh yeah, they're going to read it. They're going to research it. And are they going to say like, hey, do we have a win? I don't think we're going to win this one. All right, give him what he wants. That's pretty much what they say. That's how it goes. All right, give him what he wants. Like they're not losing nothing. Trying to tell y'all some good stuff, y'all. I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not. Uh, I'm. And Burkhart. Uh, let's get to the chat. So, nature of we the lender, like when we're dressed up as a man, inside a woman, outside a man. Inside we the lender, outside we the borrower. Us being the lender and then the borrower, that's not hard to prove. Like, that's black and white on the accounting. That's black and white on the accounting. That's black and white on the accounting. I can prove that in my. That's not that. That if that was the first argument, that would be. I would get to. I'll be focused on that. That ain't nothing to prove. That ain't shit. That's right on the books itself. Like they. That's what it is. That's one of those things where this is just what it is. And you know what the problem is, y'all, YouTube family. I don't want to start making these videos totally just every single video members only. But to be honest with you, these are really like members only videos. Let me be honest with you. And you know, I'm gonna start having my pre-recorded videos members only. I like to be public because if people that are really serious want to learn, I really want to help people learn the right way. But what comes with that is I have to be mindful of everything I say because believe it or not, y'all, they got people that have other classes that teach other people that tune in to my live every time just to find something new to go back to sell them. or have a talking point. I'm not trying to big myself up, but I'm telling you, people send me clips of videos all the time, where they start, and after I start talking about subjects, how they switch and talk about subjects. I have no problem with it, but I know I'm talking about a subject, not that I just found out yesterday. I'm talking about subjects that I've done extensive research in already. Those people, it's just a talking point to them. So it's disrespecting the art of the process. They're just trying to find something new and exciting to get their people intrigued. I've actually did the research. That's why I'm bringing it to the forefront. And then they just want to follow and sell shit that you're selling my talking point. That's basically what you're doing. And I have a problem with that. Especially if you come off that you did all this by yourself. No. You just figured it out on your own. You just got hit over the head with a knowledge stick and click. Oh, yeah. Hey, securitization. That's where we need to go. Come on, man. When does learning about trust law come into the situation? And does a Telegram group info cover cause what we need to do with trust law? It's not just trust law. See, you can't separate trust law, tax law, and accounting, because those are the three main components in every financial transaction. You can't be strong in trust law and weak in accounting and weak in tax law with the tax regulations. They're all interconnected. You need to know all three at the same time. And that's what my group touches. My Telegram group touches on multitude of topics. But the three main components is always going to be trust law, accounting, tax law. What? Accounting, trust law, tax law. You don't find your equity unless you know accounting. Because if you can't prove their liability to you on the books, there is no property of yours that you can claim an interest in. That's a fact. You can't have trust law without you can't state your claim of equity without the accounting in these transactions. Because we can feel what they did all day. What they report on their balance sheets and their reports and their all those financial statements, that's letting you know what really happened. So if there's a liability that they owe you on the books, now that is trust property. You now have equitable interest in. You now have an equitable title in. And if you assign it, now you have a security entitlement. Now your proxy has a standing to collect the property on behalf of the trust. But you don't get there with just trust law. Like trust law, you know all the elements of what goes around. But the actual state of claim, because the courts, the IRS, they're not letting you just get away by just saying you have an equitable interest in. You have to show black and white. The only black and white that matters in these spaces is the accounting. That's the only black and white. And you need black and white with that, because on the books, you're the trustee. On the contract, you're the trustee, they're the beneficiaries. Because you're responsible for making sure they have payments to collect. You're the trustee. They're the beneficiaries. So how do you know when you're now the beneficiary and they're the trustee? How do you know? We can theorize all you want, but unless you have something tangible, black and white, to point to and say, this is what I'm the beneficiary of. I'm the beneficiary of these proceeds right here. Where? Right there. Here. Whoop. Right here. This balance sheet right here. Right here. The liability right here. Right here. Right here. Uh. Oh, I see it. Yeah, right there. Remember, the right to set off. When you effectuate a proper right to set off, you're not talking about setting off the contract, the debt on the contract. That's putting the cart ahead of the horse. You have to set off the books first. Because when the books are set off first, then the receivables close. When the receivables close, then there's no more cash flow claim against you. When there's no more cash flow claim against you, then the contract is set off by default. But the activating event is setting off the debt on the books first. If it's not set off on the books first, the contract, you can set off the contract all day, you can try all you want. It's not going to work. And that's why people's conditional acceptance for vow, all this shit they send in to get out of their debts, wonder why it ain't work, because they didn't send in nothing that's hitting right on the books. That's the number one thing. Your receivables is set up on the books first. You notice that, right? It's set up on the books first. Then what do? They issue a derivative security which evidences that accounts receivables. That's your statement. That's your monthly statement that you got to pay. Yeah, if you don't set off the books first, that statement's going to keep coming, regardless of what you send. And they know this. That's the thing. They know this. That's the thing they're going to tell you. They know that. They know it. They know it. They know it. Trust me. You better trust and believe they know that. Oh, you ain't sending nothing that's going to get us to change our books. If we not changing the books, the, the, the monthly statements, the debt it generates from the books. If you're not setting off the book, that's what this right to set off class is hitting on. It's setting off the books. Because if you don't set off the books, ain't everything else you do is futile. It's futile. It means nothing. It's wasted motion is what I call it. It's a wasted motion. That's what it's a wasted motion. It's a wasted motion, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it's a wasted motion. I got professionals behind me. It's not just me saying I have real life professionals behind me in the group. Tony, do we not have professionals in the group? That's a fact. It got everything to do with it. That's a fact. But yeah, it's all good. I mean, you can ask questions all you want. Most people see. I'm different from a lot of teachers. Probably what you probably been used to in the past, which is cool. Everybody got their own different niche. I'm not telling you like what it should do. This how we going to approach. I'm telling you what it is. And I could show their actual shit telling you the same thing I'm saying. This is what it is. Belief or not, regardless if we believe it's that way or not, it don't change. This is what it is. What I'm giving to you right now, this is the industry standards. This is the financial institutions, finance companies, bank standards. This is how it works in their world. And we're going in their words to get it set off. This is how it works. We can't go with what we believe from our world and try to impose our world on their world. That's why people are in the positions they are now. They keep trying to impose their belief systems, their ideologies on their world, and they continuously keep rejecting it. Nope, not over here. That's what they say, pretty much. I'm speaking from their world because you got to meet their standards because we're operating in their world. Remember, you walked into the bank. You walked into the finance company. You got a finance. As soon as you did that, you are by default operating from their world. And that is what it is. I can believe the sky is purple and it ain't gonna change what it is. This is one of those things where it ain't even debatable. Disrespect to everybody. It's not even debatable. This is what it is. And if you're not doing it exactly to what's laid out, you ain't gonna get nothing. In this world, you don't make up your remedy. You don't approach them in a way that what someone else told you what to do. In this world, you don't just come to them with blanket statements or belief and theory with nothing black and white to substantiate it. It don't work in this world. And most people know it don't work because they've been trying, they've been singing the same song for years. They've been trying for years. Different methods, different ways, this teacher, that teacher, ain't nothing happened yet. Wanna know why? Because no matter what they did, they're not speaking their language. And that is the reality that everybody in this space needs to hear and accept and move accordingly ASAP. Regardless of if they believe what they believe, they need to stop moving off what they believe and need to start moving off what it is. I move off, this is what it is. Regardless if I believe it or my personal reservations against it or not, it don't mean two fat fucks to them what we believe it is or what it should be or how fair it should be. This is what it is. Sean, no doubt. I try to get there. I'm gonna walk you through it, but and I don't like to keep reiterating this, but I know the reputation that teachers have in this space is not really a good one. I get it, but what I'm telling you is, I don't teach from my personal belief, private, sovereign. No, everything I'm telling you is the industry standards. This is I'm preaching. I'm teaching from their world, how it happens up there, which a lot of us who sent in documents had no clue to how it really goes. That's where I come from. Because any other way, you are wasting your time. And most people are wrong out the gate. And when they don't get the intended response, they think that someone is blocking them from their remedy or trying to defraud them or whatever they claim. But the whole time, they don't realize you are wrong through the door. You only think you right because what you said, you believe. So you sent in these documents based off what you believe is which the right way to do things. You didn't measure it against their industry standards, and that is the problem in these space. They're taking their knowledge, their documents, and they're not saying, does this does this correspond with their language? What in this document speaks their language? And if people are honest with themselves, the answer would be nothing. Nothing. And then they'll file tax returns on it based on, once again, what they believe is the right way. The whole time, the IRS, they're not looking at it from what we believe. They're looking at the facts. The accounting. What is your accounting? How did you account for this? What's your statement looking like? Is it into the substance? And most people, by default, this is just how they were taught. This is which was crammed down their throats every day in this space. That every transaction somehow is tied back to the social security account. So by default, they got an equity interest in this and interest in that. And everything is always going to be revolved around the birth certificate and then them so it's all that's just how it ends up. Or HJR 192 or Public Law 7310 on March 9th, 1933. So by whatever these acts, they're not obligated on a debt. And I'm just here to tell y'all, it doesn't work. And people that are still pushing that, I know they're scamming. I know they're a fraud because the government has been said it time and time. You use HJR 192. No, it's not legal. It doesn't work. It's not going to get you nothing. March 9th, 1933. That's not what it meant. That's not what it is. And they still cram it down people's throats. And everybody who tried different things and ain't getting no results, I guarantee you, out of those different things that they tried, I guarantee you that they had HJR 192 and March 9th, 1933 in their documents, and it still didn't work. It's a misinterpretation. And I rap, it's so much better just to say, hey, all right, I was taught the wrong way. I'm ready to learn a new way. But the ego in us as humans, we can't admit when we're wrong. Now it goes from actually getting real results to just being right. I don't give a damn if they change the system tomorrow and say, nope, this ain't the standards no more. This is the new standards. Guess what? Everybody, when I just said throw that shit out the window, this the new standards. They just changed it. You see how I'm going to pivot? Because I'm not emotionally invested in this. And the people who are emotionally invested in this have brought into the fact that we're the victims. They did something to us. They're the boogeyman. That's what they use. They stole our money. They stole our gold. They did this to us. You notice how every sovereign citizen, patriot, revisionist document is always starting off that they're the boogeyman, we're the hapless victim, and we have to fight them to get what it's all the same way. And I always wonder, why is it like that? Why can't it just be you're just doing following the rules and the law and the why it gotta be the extra? Because people take that and the ones who take it seriously the most are the ones that are in some type of financial turmoil. So they think, I'm sitting here in all this debt. You're about to take my house and car when you have all my money and my millions stored in an account. And you see what I'm saying? It just paints a false narrative in their mind. So now everything that they do is just fight, 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 fight. Fight in a battle in which they already lost the war. Say it again. Fight in a battle in which they already lost the war. That's what a lot of these documents are. We already lost. The war is lost already. And what's the most scary part is they don't even realize it. Shout out to the one with the super duper. Yeah, y'all get like the one. Hit the super sticker. Who hit the super chat? Shout out to the one. Hey, the one, brother, you got to get with me now. What we doing now? Like I'm trying to figure it out now. Uh oh, my apologies, y'all. Yeah, I could put that down. It's scrolling at the bottom. It's my Cash App legacy. If you feel you like what we teach, you want to shoot the Cash App, you can, and that's my email. But the one I think I got your number too. Oh, yeah, I got your number too, bro. Text me tomorrow. Like, let me know. Like, I mean, you prepaid. I think you already paid up. I'm not sure, but you prepaid. But yeah, I don't know what we doing. So you gotta let me know. Just let me. Yeah, send me a text. Uh, yeah, yeah. Oh, the other brother, the OG told the beginning. Yo, these people play with millions of dollars a year. And the one that I teach, I'm not going to say the name. They work in a high professional place. If you want to, she was in the class. That's what she said. My sister, and we talk about your order. Yeah, she's in a high professional place. She's in a high professional place, financial institution, high, high. Yeah, yeah. I get those type of clients too. I don't just get, us. When I say us, me include, us, Morgan. I get professionals for real, in real life. I'm not lying. The professionals watch these spaces. Why did they reach out to me? If I'm not teaching from an industry standard. You think these professionals reach out to me from here talking about a birth certificate? Do you really think? Come on now. Like, real recognize real? The professionals that watch and reach out, they don't reach out off one video. They've been watching for a while now. They've been watching for a while. They don't just reach out one. Nah, they've been watching for a while. Now, literally, I have professionals in our group. We got access to a corporate attorney, a corporate accountant, 7-series securities broker that I have access to at any given moment. Oh, forgot. Morgan and Morgan lawyer who went over my financial agency agreement and said it was spotless. My 7-series securities broker friend is connected to people in high places that do this, what we talk about every day. This is their world every day. So, 7-series securities broker, corporate attorney, corporate accountant, corporate real estate accountant, and a Morgan and Morgan attorney. What other teacher that you know that got access to 4 different professionals? Hmm? And guess how? I got all of them because of what I teach. They know, they know I teach on a different level. I teach on a professional level. When you're teaching on a professional level, you're going to attract the professionals. That's a fact. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I teach on a professional level. I teach in a way that you can you're not going to be laughed out the conference room when the documents come through the door. You're not going to be laughed out the door. Told you about the with Navy Federal in summer 2023. Was it summer last? Yeah, summer 2023. They had my documents. About 8 lawyers in the room had my documents on the projector because little did I know my client's cousin worked for the same law office that sent my client a letter about commencing a foreclosure. She worked for them. And she knew it was her cousin because she seen the name on the list. So she called her. And that's when she told her, she's like, oh, yeah, they was talking about that. Oh, I guess someone sent some documents in for you. Me. She's like, yeah, they had it up on the projecting screen, and they was highlighting. And I moved files, so I'm in and out the room. So I'm listening, because I know they talk about your case. So I'm listening. And they was talking like, oh no, Navy Federal, I don't know about this one. Yeah, one of the lawyers said it right there today. I don't know this. You making this up? I didn't know her fucking cousin worked for the office. That's what he said. Oh no, that's what they said. Oh, how they said, she said they had his documents on the screen and they were reading it out loud and they were highlighting different parts and they were reading through it. And as they were reading through it, It was the I remember. I don't know what it was. A dude. I want to say white dude, black dude. I remember saying it was a dude, and he said, "I don't know, Navy Federal. I don't know about this one." And they're all lawyers. I almost beat the feds. God damn it! For Christ's sake, I almost beat the feds. I almost beat the feds. The only thing the appellate court said was, "You didn't raise this claim in the district court." That's all they said. And the claim wasn't available 2 years later, but I'm like, they just needed a way. That's all they said. Your presentment wasn't wrong. They didn't say your presentment was wrong. Your angle's off. You misinterpreted the statute. You misinterpreted the court case. All they said was, you didn't raise this claim in the district court. Had you to raise this claim in the district court, you would have won. We would have vacated your sentence. Pro se. Well, everybody's lawyers sitting in there saying, sitting in the same. I said, no, bro, tell your lawyers, no, y'all, you have to, y'all, lawyer. They all sitting in there saying, no, I'm telling them. I used to sit there and type up like 5 pages. I typed up 5 pages. I went to the law library and I went by and I made about 30 copies. And everybody who had a case similar to mine, I go by them. I didn't have to know them. I just knew that, well, not like hang with them every day, know them, but I knew everybody, we 920C, now had the 924C. And yo, have your lawyer research this. Yo, have your lawyer research this. Lo, how your lawyer research this. They be like, oh, yo, appreciate you, man. Good day. I remember a Spanish dude saying, yo, he came to me, he's like, came to my door because they let the top chair up first. They ain't let the bottom chair. He's like, yo, I said that to my lawyer, man. My lawyer got back with me, fool. He's from Cali. He's got back with me, fool. He said that was good work, man. He said he's gonna research, he's gonna add on to it. That he said that was good information you gave him. Yo, fool, you crazy, man. I said, yeah, appreciate it. Like, I got something for you to come out. I said, it's all good. I'll be down there since you said it. But yeah, man, it's all good. Yeah. I, I, I'm trying to tell y'all that I know what I'm talking about, man. I know the post-process traumatic stress disorder, but I'm telling y'all, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you anything wrong. I'm not telling you nothing wrong. I can show you black and white everything that I'm saying. Like I've been showing black and white in everything I'm saying. Now, if you're just new, you what you need to do is go to the older videos when I'm talking black and white and sharing my screen. Hey, Jay, I got you. I received that what you sent too. I'll check your DM. Uh, I slide you in that. I slide you in that mud lover tomorrow. I actually got some copies to send to you. I actually got you. I got some copies. I send those copies to you tomorrow. I got something for you to do. I'm gonna need you to uh you know what to do when you get it. You're gonna know, and that's gonna handle the W-2s and those tax years. You don't know what to do, but I'm just just bro. I just need. I got the copies for you. Can you just you know what to do? There you go. So you can go ahead and get that knocked out. There you go. Got you. Got you. Yeah, I got so many people hit me up in emails. It gets crazy. It gets crazy. But uh, yeah, the one you gotta let me know what's going on. So all right, so let's get down. So let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So I'm about to get to the. I'm about to. Yes, we do. Ain't lying. Tony's in the group. The brother here, Thomas Harrigan, he's in the group. Uh, Richard, he's in the group. The one, I think he is. I think you in, bro. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Standing is a result. Yes. Yes. Remember, it's a constructive trust. Constructive trust, implied trust. When you're in a foreclosure case or whatever about the mortgage, guess what the judge is doing? He's forming a constructive trust, which is akin to the implied trust, meaning the trust is not written on paper, it's not written on documents, it's based on the actions of the parties. That's why I say the substance matters more than what's in the documents. That's why I say it. That was a hell of a way to put it. The substance of the transaction matter, because once I understand what really happened, the substance in the accounting, then I can spot the implied trust. I can spot the implied trust. And in equity, you're a winner. You're a winner. Oh, he said, yeah, I'm in the group and love it. Okay. And Thursday, y'all, we getting back in the Telegram, y'all. We getting back over there tomorrow. You know, I got to give y'all a few days of marinate. I will finish editing the video from the last class because there's some stuff I got to edit out, and then I'll drop that video as well. But yes, I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm freaking telling you. And the mere fact that there's a receivables count set up, the receivables counts, aka is the loan account. The mere fact that they set that account up is evidence on the books what they were supposed to put in your hand at closing. It's evidence. This is why you notice that at the close of your transaction, there's never no 1099s filed. You notice that, right? And most people don't even wonder why. When you close on a car, mortgage, credit, you notice at the close of the transaction, there's no 1099 filed when there's supposed to be one. Yep. It's a reason why. It's a reason why they don't. It's a reason why, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, listen, there is a reason why. I was going to be 34 degrees today. It was 32 degrees today. No, yeah, it was 33 degrees. No, 32 degrees today. These are the regulations on the 1099s. You notice how every 1099 has its own regulation. Did you know that? So when these teachers like Skip the Boss, Samika, everybody, Chris House telling you how to file the 1099, everybody in this space that's telling you how to file the 1099, put the United States Treasury as the lender and you as the borrower. Did they ever tell you that the way they're telling you to file the 1099 is based on the federal regulations regarding these 1099s? Did they ever tell you? Every 1099 has its own regulation, and how the 1099 is processed is based on the regulation. They ain't tell you that? They say that that's normal IRS standard. No, they all told you how to file the 1099 based on what you believe it should be. Yeah, 1099's got regulations. Every 1099 has its own regulation. How do you know your 1099 meets the IRS's regulation? Or we think that the way we believe it should be is going to trump their regulations, how they systematically and consistently process these 1099s? We really think we're going to overcome that? And this is what happens. And the teachers in this space hate me. Now, they'll watch and steal my talking points, but they hate me. Want to know why they hate me? Because I'm exposing their own fill in the blanks. I'll fill it in for you. I'm exposing their own inadequacies in teaching. I'm exposing that they're unqualified, they're inadequate, and they don't know what they need to know to be teaching. Because no, look at the position where I teach from. I teach from the corporate world, the securities world, the accounting world, federal regulations, trust law, tax law. I'm from, and people that teach classes, instructors, that's how they teach. They teach from packets, classes they were a part of, classes where they were a student, passed down packets. This is why they can never go toe to toe with me on the regulations and the tax law and the accounting and what's supposed to be on this balance sheet and what they're supposed to put as an asset and a corresponding liability on that balance sheet and how that's supposed to emulate and how you actually have to pay a down payment. What's the accounting for that? How do they account for it? Do they account for it as unearned income or do they not? I- I'll ask the teacher this. So in a down payment, right? Where's the down payment coming from, and how does the lender, so-called lender, I'll give you that, how do they account for the down payment that one of your students gave on their mortgage? Man, do you really think they know the answer to that? This, and they know this. They watch me. No, don't get it. They watch me. Ask one of those teachers, okay, so what is the legal accounting definition for this mortgage transaction of your client? What's the legal accounting definition? What does it fall under? You see these questions? They don't even know. I'm telling you, they will never come on my live and talk strictly about the facts, strictly about the regulations, strictly about the process. They would never come. Uh, so you tell your, I'm like, so you tell your students to file a 1099A to pay their debts. Can you show me the federal regulations where it says to use the 1099A to set off your debt or access a secret account? Because all 1099s are governed by federal regulations. The statutes is the law, but the regulations how the law is implemented. So can you show me by the federal regulations and or the statute where the government says file this 1099 to pay off your debt to access an account? Can you show me per the regulations or statute right now in front of all yours and my people? And you can share your screen. No, no, don't pull up no online website where it's telling you what the government's doing. We need to know what the government's doing by their own regulations because that's how they're governed. No, no, don't pull out that document, man. Sir, you just pulled out this document. I swear to God, that document came out in 2003. That document been out surface on the internet. That's not nothing new, and it still don't work. Can we stick to because the reason why I'm asking these questions, sir, because when your students send these documents in, the IRS is going to measure them based on do they meet the federal regulation standard. That's black and white IRS. You should know this as a teacher. This is why they will never be in my presence. Tamika, she don't got no problem saying names, name dropping. She has no problem. And she was like, yeah, people want to make videos about me. Dudes making videos about me. They don't even know me. But anybody else that's on their bad side, she'll send her people at them to go troll them and go get them, get in the chat, right? But she never said my name. I know she was talking about me. Dudes making videos about me don't even know me. But why did she say, yo, Thomas Legacy or the new culture? Y'all go to the new culture center. Why didn't she say my name? She never said my name. I know she was talking about me. Dudes making videos about me don't even know me. I know she said because it was right after I made that, put that video out. Why didn't she say my name? She said Cora B's name. She went on Midwest channel. Why did she say my name? She did not say my name. Prime example, Midwest. He was talking live about the 1099A not working. Y'all better know what y'all doing before you mess with them, which is true. I sent him a copy of a successful 1099A while on his live. I see him look down at the phone. I just sent it. And I let him know what I sent. Yeah, I said, I don't know what they doing, but we do things right over here. And he looked at me like, yep, yep, yep. And they're like, yo, what's that? What you read? Oh, just a text someone sent me. He didn't even say it came from, he did not say the context of the text. Oh, nah, Thomas Legacy sent me a successful 1099A. He just said, oh, I'm just reading something somebody sent me. Why do they all do this? Want to know why? Because they don't look at y'all nothing more than a meal ticket. And if anyone appears that they know more than them, they're not going to say anything or bring any light because they don't want people to go over there and start spending their money there. If they knew that people would only spend money with them and them only, they would have been saying my name. But they're looking at this thinking I'm looking at it the way they're looking at it. This is their main source of income. How many people can buy their BS? This is not my main source of income. And I always say, I don't care if you get service from me or someone else. I don't care. But they're looking at it because this is how they really eat. And as you can see, before I came on the scene, you see all this shit floating around. Ever since I came on the scene and been consistent, a lot of that shit done stopped. Yeah. And I wasn't the first to recognize it because I really don't pay attention. It was consistent. Too many people tell me, yo, since you came on, a lot of people there, and I realized, you know what? You all right. I am going to recognize it. I shut a lot of this shit down to the point where they had to go, some people got to go partner up with people. They ain't going to change nothing. Because sometimes the people you partner up with still ain't sufficient. Because the way they teach, they don't know how to give you the legal corporate world and then break it down in layman terms and then put it in ways where you can understand it on your own. It's an art to teach. You just can't come up and start speaking and teach. You have to be able to communicate. And most of the time, what you get is talking down. No learning, no teaching mechanism, just talking down. So, before we get to we're going to get to the final leg. We're going to get to the final leg of tonight. Look at this. When a bank sells an asset that it does not own, it has established a short position. If on the report date a bank is in a short position, it shall report its liability to purchase the asset in RC. Item 15B, trading liabilities. In this situation, the right to receive payment shall be reported in RCF. Item 4, other asset. Short position shall be reported gross. Short traded position shall be reevaluated consistent with the method used by the reporting bank for the valuation of its trading assets. Every time you win a finance and a mortgage, they're in a trading position. They're selling security they don't own. You just read it. They shall report its liability to purchase the asset, aka they owe you the proceeds. That's the only freebie I'm giving you, Cloud Watchers, tonight. That's from the books. It shall. See, from the books. Y'all get that freebie. Cloud Watchers, you get that freebie. Yep. And must record the liability to repurchase. Meaning they owe you. They owe me. They owe you. They owe us. Ain't nothing like knowing that they owe you the money and you can show it to them on the books. A lot of these cloud watchers and teachers, they are pulling their hair out right now because they don't know how to show it. They're not going to read the 188 pages, the 326 pages, the 509 pages. I am, and I have. They're not going to read the 8K, 10K filings, 300 pages, 400 pages. I will, I can, and I have. Well, I tell you, y'all, I got hours, months, days, weeks, years into this, y'all. I ain't no newbie. I may be new to the scene. I ain't new to this shit. I know exactly what the fuck is going on. And not from a revisionist, patriot, sovereign way. I know what's going on from the corporate world. This is why I don't get rejection letters like they get. And when they get rejection letters, you never know. They ain't gonna tell you. If they got multiple frivolous filings based on the sovereign way. And I get sometimes you may get a frivolous filing letter, which is bullshit. I get it. It be some bullshit sometimes. Some people got frivolous filing. I call bullshit. On one, I seen it. Oh, they said, oh, they on bullshit. Another thing with a frivolous filing, the claim is that you took a position, right? But I'm trying to figure out if your frivolous filing came from a tax return, how is that a position? You're just reporting the transaction, the numbers. How's that a position? You see what I'm saying? How is that a? And then one thing I know is about the frivolous filings to their defense, they when I read, they don't ever say exactly what you did. They have an arguments list, a frivolous position list. It's like 44, 45, or more than that. They're supposed to tell you you took a frivolous position, argument number 44. You're entitled to credits solely off of 1099 or some shit like that. You notice that when they send They don't now. They consider you a frivolous filing based on just your sovereign citizen rhetoric, or you made a claim that they can't get out of. So I will admit they will use a frivolous filing as a scare tactic. Yes, but one thing if you notice about it, if you beat through the smoke screen and stand in your position, if it's a bullshit frivolous filing, it'll go away. That's what I've noticed. Y'all get in the Telegram group. It is pricey. It's $600 lifetime, but I'm be honest with you, that is just an investment in your future. That's an investment in a different thing. Everybody that's in the group that paid to be in the group, if you're still watching right now, was that money well spent or it's not? And you can be 100% honest because if it's money not well spent, then let me know what I need to do to increase the value of the group. But if it's money well spent, let me know because I definitely don't want to feel like you ain't get your money's worth. If you're still here, please let me know. Please let everybody else know. Because I can't tell you the value of the group is. I could be biased. I need people that's already in there that paid to tell you what the value of the group is. Tony likes it. Tony has paid to be in the group. Anybody else in the group that's in Telegram group that paid to be in there, if you think it was money well spent, please let everybody else know. Or please just put it in the chat for me. I can't answer that question for y'all. All right. The last thing I want to bring up before I go, and I'm not going to be too long on this process, is the re-emergence of the purchase order. It was brought to my attention that teachers on TikTok, Instagram, and all over social media are telling people that they can buy a vehicle with just the use of the purchase order. Now, we highlighted this with Tamika when Cora B from the Cora B show called Tamika out on that purchase order. It's on my channel in one of my groups. And she called Tamika out. And what's that dude named Corey, the light-skinned dude with Pastor Freedom? She called him out because people paid to be in that group. And a lot of people's reaction from that group, the screenshots I seen or their comments was, I'm so embarrassed by the purchase money order. Bank said I couldn't do it, yada, yada, yada. And not just Tamika. And not just Tamika. Jonah Bay and other people are teaching the purchase order. My question is this: why is that every time, if you look at the main known people in this space, when they say they got a class or something for sale, why is it that 3 or 4 other people got the same class for sale? Just like the banking class. This dude had the banking class and buying a home through your business and setting up your business, net 1030s. He had that class for sale. The Midwest had the same thing for sale. And why is it that every time these people come out with a class or the $1.5 million instrument, then it's 1.5 million account, then this person saying they can get you 1.5. Why? You notice that every time these people have a class, you can find like 4 or 5 different people that has the same identical class. How is that a possibility? Is when you, before you had the class, you did your thorough research and put the class together from scratch, your curriculum. How is that possible? Like, no one can mirror my class because the type of studying and understanding and research it takes, they can't mirror it. So what they do, they'll just take a few talking points and try to sell that. But why is it that every time you turn around, like the 1099A trustees, you got 5,000 people as a trustee now. W4 sandwich, you had 20,000 people teaching a W4 sandwich when it originated with the white lady named Sarah from Ohio. So how is, if she originates a class, why is it later on you got 5,000 different people teaching it? Want to know why? Because a lot of these people are posing as students, getting the information, getting the documents, getting the copy. They paid to be in the class, and then they come back and sell it. Let me ask yourself a question. How can you ever expect any type of results when they're doing that? No one is doing their research. Everybody's just repackaging and reselling. So the purchase order, which has been taught by multiple people on social media, is this. Yeah, I think so too. So let me tell y'all this. A purchase order, buying a vehicle with a purchase order, they want you to believe that it takes some magical trick to get a purchase order. They sell it to you that you have to express the trust. You have to express the trust. You got to do this. A purchase order is easy to get. They want you to think that by you getting a purchase order, the gateway is open for you getting that vehicle without the use of money. You can get a purchase order over the phone. You can get it emailed to you. Okay? They'll set up the account for you. They'll put the account on the purchase order. They'll let you know the make of the model. You wire the money to them, and then you go to the dealership to sign the final paperwork. That's all up. It's so easy to get a purchase order. Don't let these people fool you by thinking that since you got a purchase order, that they're going to allow you to drive off the lot with it without the use of money. A purchase order does not create a debt. It's another thing they like to use. Create the debt, then discharge it. A down payment is not a debt with a purchase order. A down payment that you put on a purchase order is basically saying, don't sell this car to this person today because I'm going to be there 2 days to buy it in full. That gives them faith to hold it instead of selling it when someone's ready to buy it now. A purchase order It's nothing more than saying, hey, I want to buy this vehicle. I want this vehicle right here. Let me get it right now. I want to pay for you cash up front right now. And don't want nobody else to get it. So I'm gonna buy it now from you. And then I'm coming sign and do the paperwork when I get to the dealership. That's all. It's just a quick purchase of the vehicle. That's all it is. It's a purchase order. At some states they call it buyer's order. That's all it is. Just because you have a purchase order does not mean that you can use a trust fund account, a secret treasury account, your social security account, and process it to buy the vehicle. Tamika did not buy the vehicle from her treasury trust fund secret account. She wired the money from her Wells Fargo account to purchase the vehicle. Just because you have a purchase order does not mean that you can acquire the vehicle without cash or wire transfer. They think that because you have the purchase order that you can miraculously set it off and then leave with the vehicle. That's what they teach. They know it don't work, but they're teaching it to people. Want to know why? Because the hallmarks that I see in this space is these processes that they teach is nothing more than telling people they can acquire the goods and services in this world without the use of cash. And people who don't qualify for the normal financing, they flock to this because they think they can get around not having the credentials to qualify for financing. Not knowing you can't even get in, you can't even play the game unless you're into finance or mortgage or credit card receivables, revolving credit. And for the ones who can't get it on their own, this is an alternative method. And if you look around, everybody wants to pick out a Porsche. Everybody wants to pick out $100,000 car. But if they said, oh, you have to finance that, they would not pick out that car. So you can tell the inner greed from people as soon as they hear you can get something without paying money for it. See how they shoot for the stars? Even if they ain't got to pay for it, they ain't going to stay modest. They're going to shoot for the things that they want that they know they really can't afford. That is one of the main reasons why people are in debt. The purchase order, you still need cash or wire transfer for money in your own account. That's how it works. A purchase order is not, you can get a purchase order by fucking calling them. They'll fax it over to you. It's so easy. A purchase order is not a step in the process, but they know what they're doing. They're lying to people. Do not fall victim with the purchase order process. You still need cash. They're not going to accept nothing else but cash money for the vehicle for the purchase order. So, ladies and gentlemen, just because it's popping back up and more people are being hip, because I read a few comments and people say, hey, I tried this before. They say I need cash. So how are you going to purchase it without cash? I read a comment, and you know what happens? The author of the content that posted it, they never respond. Any inquiries that people have, they never respond. You notice that, right? Y'all know me. I'll go back and forth with you in the comments all day. They never respond, though. When you asking, breaking that purchase order down, they never respond. Tamika did not buy that vehicle by accessing the secret trust fund account. She wired the money from her Wells Fargo public account to buy the vehicle and then posted it live saying, yeah, do you want to drive off the lot with just a purchase order? Sign up. And people signed up because they seen a symbol of material wealth. And that's what they do, y'all. They throw these material possessions at you. They limit they limit this process, this way of life, to just acquiring material possessions. It's not like she showed them land that she's going to build property on that's going to create residual income, generational wealth. She showed a vehicle that depreciated the minute she drove off the lot, off the heart, using the money that people work hard for to buy her packages, her services that are dead on arrival. And that's all they market to people. Look how little they respect y'all. They market, you notice that they don't market this to people who know how to think, business people. What's their market? People who are in financial vulnerable positions, people who are desperate, and people who are greedy. That's who they market to. And all they got to do is just throw money in your face or throw material possessions in your face. I thought they're supposed to be on a higher frequency. I thought this was supposed to be bigger than that because look where that mindset has gotten everybody else in the past, bankruptcy or in debt. But all they do is just throw a little material possessions because they've gotten the low level thinkers in this space to think that if you don't have a vast of material possessions, you're not successful in your teachings. They think this process is about this how low level they are. They think this way of life is about you getting the money to go back and purchase a whole bunch of materialistic stuff that's not going to bring you any money. That's what they see as success. That's what they see as success. No investments, no saving your money. It's to go get materialistic things. And then when you run low on the cash, go do the process again. That's with their mindset. And these are the same people who are flooding the IRS with these frivolous, stupid documents that's not going to get them anywhere. This way of life is not about how much material possessions that you acquire. It has nothing to do with that. It's totally independent of what this is really about. But you got to understand, these people have no investments outside of this anyway. It's not like they're using this to further their investments, further their empire. This is their lifeline. So my I'm on the team of those who can independently think. I'm on the team of those who can use critical thinking. I'm on the team of those who's not going to fall victim just because someone throws some material possessions that you think they think you can acquire in your face. You're not going to let the material possessions blind you. Yes, we all want the finer things in life. We all want to drive something nice. I get it. But when you can afford to do it, that's when you get it. Don't make the material possessions your end goal. Because I'm be honest with you, most people only want to do this process so they can come back and stunt. That's it. So they can come back and show what they have. That's what most people desire is, especially when they got a hold of that $100 million bond. They started to, oh, I could do this. Oh, I'm gonna come back on YouTube and do this. Why don't you do it now? Those who have it in real life, we don't have to let you know what we have every 5 seconds. I don't have to let you know what I have every 5 seconds. Only thing you know is what I show you. You wouldn't even know I had a Mercedes Benz if I didn't show you. But there was a bigger reason why me doing that whole thing anyway. I can have $10,000 in my pockets right now. You wouldn't know unless I showed you. And I don't show you all my material possessions. I don't come on here with the bando flexed out. I can. It's not getting twisted. I can. But that's not what it's about. That's a distraction. That's not what it's about. It has nothing to do with nothing. Don't let nobody tell you that this process is about you measuring whether someone knows what they're talking about based on the material possessions that they have. That's nowhere near what this is about. It has nothing to do with nothing. It has nothing to do with nothing, y'all. The purchase order does not mean you're going to buy the vehicle without money. You still need cash to pay for the vehicle. So everybody who's falling for that purchase order, they're just trying to get around buying something that they know they don't have the money to pay for. And watch out for all these teachers on social media before I go. They all teach processes to buy things, acquire things, or pay debts without using money, without cash. It's always a way to get around that obligation. That's all what they're doing. Is trying to trick you into a way of settling a debt without paying money. Acquire all the goods in this world without doing what everybody else does. Buy it. And the main people who fall for that are the ones who can't afford it. And that's a fact. With that being said, I want y'all to stay up, fuck with me the long way, and I'm gonna fuck with you the hard way. Let's get it. 2025, this is the new culture's year. One gone. Now hold on. Faza, if I'm wrong, tell them we can have a debate about their way to set off a debt, my way to set off a debt. Their way to present their claims, my way to present their claims. And we're going to see who's who and what's what. Tell them that.